NBA today. All right, we're live there. And we'll go ahead and get these rolling here. All right. So we have 123M123 going to be 4-3 and have a trade going through this week where you receive Brees and Devonta Smith for Amon-Ra, Chase Brown, and Bucky Irving. All right. So now you have Brees filling in here, Bigsby down here. Yeah, I think it's a fine squad. Dalton Schultz usage is going to go up for at least a little. Hawkinson will be back soon for you. Receivers are strong still. Devonta Smith, albeit a little overrated for his current usage. But then what do you do for the flex spot? Yeah, you're just going to be a little bit thin at flex is really kind of the only issue with this squad. I don't mind the trade. I just don't like how much it takes at depth from you. I think there's still a lot of upside for Chase Brown and so forth. But overall, I'm fine with the squad. Any thoughts for you, Jackson, here?
No, I think you pretty much covered it well. Yeah. Like with regards to that trade, it seems pretty even to me. I think having Brees instead of Bigsby there is gonna favor you in the long term. So yeah, I think I lean towards your side.
I know. All right, gonna move to the next team. Gonna run and grab some water real quick and be right back. Let a few more people walk in here, anyways.
Okay, sounds good. Here, let me open up this YouTube chat, see if we have any questions coming in there. There we go. What's going on, Barrage? Trade Brian Robinson and Jaden Reed for Gibbs and DJ Moore. Yeah, I'm gonna err on the Gibbs DJ Moore side of that. I just think the Gibbs value is pretty much what stands out in that trade.
All right, there we go.
Like the Commanders, like this is kind of something Wells was touching on too earlier. It's like the Commanders as a team, kind of similarly to the Cardinals, they're gonna see a spike like midway through season, like they're young, kind of emerging teams. Like we might have seen them hit their peak already. Like
Yeah. All right. I like this squad a lot. Not a Juju guy. Amari, hopefully he'll have better days as well.
didn't he had like 16 fantasy in his first game?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even better days than that.
Oh, you mean in the Browns? Yeah.
Snaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Juju is a no. Judy could be something now, but we'll see. Yeah, strong squad here, man. Not really much to be said. You just need to figure out the quarterback situation, and yeah, it was a lot more fun skepticizing about Richardson than actually having him for fantasy this year. So, yeah, not much to be said. Like the squad, man. Be fun to see how it rides out. All right, trendsetter, 12-man PPR, Brock Purdy, Ashawn Mixon, fun running backs pairing, Adams, Hill, Potton, Reed. Yeah, another strong team. You bought the dip. Mark Andrews seems to be doing well for you there. Yeah, another strong squad. Not really much to be said here as well. Like in theory, if you have concern about like Adams, like you could try to get another receiver, but like you have Deontay Johnson Pickens on your bench, so there's not much to be said here. I do think McMillan is worth a high priority. Just the rookie who's been performing well, getting more involved. You can make an argument for Sterling Shepard based off of the Oklahoma connection for Hendon Baker, but that's not where I would go. I think that McMillan is worth a lot.
Do you think Rachaad White's stock is up anything considerable, like with the receivers out on that team?
I don't think so. I think it's more of just they went with a hot hand at running back, and now it's just going to be like, where did they go from there?
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting squad to see how they play out. But onto this next squadron here. Got offered St. Brown for Deontay and Garrett. I personally like the Deontay and Garrett side a bit, but that's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I agree.
Trying to see it, like looking at your bench here, if there's any reason you would want to do that. Yeah, I mean, I just like the more consistent usage that you're probably going to have between Garrett and Deontay. I do think that Amana is a fine person to go get, but you're giving up a lot there for him. And I wouldn't say that like your bench has every piece necessary, unless you're expecting Ramondre and Pollard to get drastically better for fantasy. But then again, they could. So you never know. I don't know. I'd say if he'd bite for like Kyler or something instead, I'd try to keep these receivers so you have more depth. All right. 12 man for L. Kyler Murray, Brees,
Mac Hippenhammer, dude.
Let's see here. Moss, Mike Evans, Debo, Trey McBride, Jameson, Chuba. Yeah, that's. How did you? Is that even a person or is that just like?
I asked their wide receiver for the Bengals. I asked them in Discord why they have him, and they said it was their last pick in the draft, and they thought he just deserved a roster spot. So I was like, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we played it at Penn State in Miami, Ohio. Huh.
Grant, you big on Mac Hippenhammer at all?
Mac Hippenhammer?
Yeah.
Oh, who the?
That's what I'm saying. I've never heard of this name, and I was like,
0%. This might be the only roster he's on. Is this his cousin?
No, he just.
it has to be.
Yeah,
There's no way that it's not.
Did he say like, I need him?
No, he
He's
was like,
actually
I
not on a
drafted him,
roster.
thought
It's
he
got to be a
deserved
real
roster spot. Yeah, what? Why would
I
you?
like
do
how
that?
when you look,
just banter.
What?
bro, he's so unknown that like when you look him up, it's the picture of like the coach from Key and Peele. Like this is what shows up right here. Like that's crazy.
Why is he talking like in an interview with the actual Penn State coach? What is that clip?
That's from the thing where he's running across the field, I think. But yeah, this is our Mac Hippenhammer.
Shout out Mac.
Yeah. Right on. All right, back to regular business here. I knew that man was going to curse that team since the moment he started singing. I was like, the second these songs start coming out, I'm like, this Colts team is just screwed. Whenever you get a fan that's that passionate, they beat Jacksonville. That's a feat. Doug Peterson.
They beat the Dolphins.
Well, I know what's something that can't be beat. Jameson Williams and allegations these days.
Dude, it's insane.
Like
I don't know how it's only a 2-game suspension.
That is something that is kind of funny. Like he's getting a shorter suspension than he did for gambling.
That is crazy.
It must have been like some like not super effective drug, or it was just like a recreational drug that they just
watch it be Adderall.
Yeah, or it could have been like
I could
something.
Yeah. Like I'm just kind of curious to see. It's like, what are you really knocking the guy for? But in theory, it could be good for Sam Laporta. Yeah, Hippenhammer's throwing me off here every time I keep looking at this roster.
Wait, real quick, you guys wouldn't trade Pollard and Zay Flowers for A-Chain, or would you?
I want A-Chain.
Wait, Pollard and who?
Zay.
I want H-on there because Zay Flowers looked like he got injured.
Receivers?
It's just a question in front of me in the Discord, and I was like, huh.
Oh. I mean, if you have other receivers to slot in there, I totally would do that.
Yeah. It's probably a Red Bull. That's facts. Yeah, Chuba.
This team has gotten hit by some injuries, but the rest of the team looks good.
Yeah, Chuba needs to go. JMO is suspended. Christian Kirk could have better days ahead. Best game for Keon Coleman by far. Aaron Jones will be able to get in there, and then couldn't tell you what the hell is going on with Zach Moss, but
I'm not
he's
super
out there.
Hopeful on Keon Coleman's game being a consistent thing, but
It's not.
He was good.
It was good for him. I was surprised.
I think if you're using a waiver claim on him over Jalen McMillan, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think McMillan has a lot more upside. which is kind of
I mean,
funny considering like one was a basic first round receiver and the other went in like the 5th. But
But
it's
the thing
just
about McMillan is
reality.
why he fell is because he ran like 70% of his snaps out of the slot in college. And so
Behind
teams just
Odunze,
weren't really
yeah.
super high on that. And then Godwin goes out who runs 70% of his routes from the slot. And now you have a guy that can slot into that role pretty seamlessly. I feel like I wouldn't be shocked if he is averaging like 12 points a game the rest of the season.
So you're telling me it's not Sterling Shepard?
I think Sterling Shepard might be better
I'm
than
just fucking
McMillan
with you.
potentially for the weeks that Mike Evans is out. But if misses like 4 weeks, let's say, and then he's back, McMillan's the guy with the long-term value into the fantasy playoffs and things. So
I'm with you on McMillan. I'm just messing with you on Shepard. What is this, year 9 breakout for him essentially? Yeah, probably.
I mean,
not.
someone's gonna have to get the ball.
Somebody's got to get there. He'll be out there. 12-man PPR just made a trade draft by Ayuk after season end. This is what's hilarious to me is like if you just drafted an early round receiver, you basically screwed your fantasy team at this point, because just about every single one's injured.
Is the thing on the right? I assume that's waivers.
I'm assuming that's probably what it is.
I
Need
mean,
to fill a
go
lot of
get
spots.
McMillan if you can, but
I have low priorities for waiver this week. Who are some
That is
deeper
waiver.
players you can pick up? I mean, McMillan is the priority here. I mean, you can take interest in the Browns receivers. I'm very curious to see how that kind of plays out with the QB shift, but I think Njoku is the biggest beneficiary. I still say your starting lineup is beyond cracked, especially considering that Tua should be back this week, which I think is a very interesting decision for him to be like, hey, I'm not going to wear a Guardian cap.
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like McDaniel is trying to say without saying that he should wear it, but it's very interesting to listen to a McDaniel answer. Goes about 30 different directions and then doesn't answer the question. It's wonderful. But yeah, this is a fine team. Nick Chubb found his way in the end zone this past weekend. Mason Rudolph being on here just messes with me, like staring me in the face is a lot. Yeah, I mean, this is a good team, man. Like, there's not really much you can add off waivers outside of like McMillan and like taking some shots on the Browns receivers here. Like I'd say Audric Esme is worth an ad, but like he keeps fumbling the damn ball, so not worth it there. But yeah, maybe Kendra Miller if you believe Alvin Kamara gets injured or traded. Abu starts it. The week hasn't even. Well, the week has started. I want DJ Moore, I think. I'd probably take him over Devonta Adams potentially here. I don't know. What would you guys do for the receivers? Because that's really the big question mark here, and he has lots of them. Would you do it over T, I guess?
I mean, you're gonna have to. If Cup plays, he starts too. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think
I feel like you need to
they
trade
both start
receivers.
over Devontae and Diggs probably.
Yeah. I feel like you need to build up your running backs here a bit better than what they are. Too many good receivers.
And your running backs, like Loki, could be good for the rest of the season, and they're just like not guys that you originally would have trusted.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean they're bad players. It's just like a
No, I agree.
interesting build with it was probably like no RB, and then it worked out well.
Exactly. Kareem Hunt and Bigsby, really strong. Been trying. Nobody wants to trade. That's painful. Yeah, I mean, it's still a really good squad. Like Kareem Hunt, sneaky 20 fantasy points. ETN battling injury. Bigsby's role continues to expand. Yeah, definitely some upside. I don't think it'll be as rosy for him this week, but we will see. Bateman 6 starts the last 3 games. I like Bateman. I've been a Bateman stand, but we'll see if that continues forward. I do think part of that is Zay Flowers like twisting his ankle in what was it, like the first quarter.
Yeah.
But all right. Moving on to the next squad. Joe Burrow, Devin Achon, Brian Robinson, Adams, Jefferson, Kincaid, Reed, Waddle. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Jalen No Hands Polk, Roma Dunze, and then that's really about it. Yeah, fun squad here, man. Not much to say. You technically need more depth at running back, but that's about it. I like your flexes. They should be healthy and more optimal now, so we'll see there. Who's the 2 worst wide receivers on your team for the rest of the season? I guess.
Diggs and
Yeah, it's
Diggs
going to be
or Amari or something. I don't know.
It's honestly like a battle between your 3 starting receivers potentially. You could even throw an Amari in there because DJ Moore and Kupp should be great for the rest of the year. Adams had 1 bad game, but he'll probably get better. Diggs is in a really good role right now, but that should fall off. And then Higgins is with Burrow. Tends to out-target Chase. Caleb or Kyler this week? Who do they play?
Caleb.
And
Caleb for sure against Washington.
Yeah, that seems like the spot. Do you think Jaden Daniels plays this week?
I would lean no, but I mean, I feel like it seemed like the way he was acting that he probably could have gone back into that last game. They were just up by so much. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I would.
That's what they were saying as well.
Potentially lean on him maybe missing this game, but I feel like the narrative of the 2 top picks playing each other, he might just push it and try to play because it's a fun game. But
yeah, it is funny that it would be honestly hilarious if they literally switched this game around with Burrow versus Hurts just for Jaden Daniels not to play.
I forgot they did that. Yeah.
I really like just looking at the games. I really like Mahomes versus Raiders this week. That'll be a really fun game. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a game that you see Trent on and just Raiders come out of nowhere and just surprise everyone.
I sure hope not.
You're just praying on the tank. Who do you want in the draft, do you think? Anyone that you're just
it's such a bad quarterback class. It's tough that this is the year that we might actually finally lose all the games we should lose. But, I mean, of the guys there, it's probably Cam Ward, but
it's not bad.
That'd be kind of sick.
You wouldn't want to be taking another chance on just going out and getting an elite receiver or something and then just trying in some way in free agency to get a QB?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think any of these they're good receivers, but they're not
like Travis Hunter specifically, I guess. If you have the opportunity to get
would play. I mean, if you get Travis Hunter, I feel like he plays corner, and of the corners, I'd rather have Will Johnson. I think he's still the cornerback 1. I mean, there's a chance. I just don't think the organization is gonna stall and take a position like that and then suck again to take one of the good quarterbacks in the next class. That just feels like a lot of waiting. But I mean, I would be personally fine with that. I feel like that's probably the most helpful decision long term to actually turn around the whole franchise. But I feel like if they're picking top 5 or something, they'll probably take a quarterback.
Makes sense. All right, on to the next squad. We like this squad, though. Just need to build up running back depth here. Puerto Rico just lost Godwin, was offered DJ Moore for Jacobs, and they got offered James Conner and JSN for Jacobs. Just not sure which one to make.
What was the first?
DJ Moore for Jacobs sounds more appealing to me, but I don't know if I'd want to give up Jacobs considering the running back depth here. I
you also don't have if you plug him in, you're still without a flex. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
I would look for more of the 2-for-1 kind of thing you're talking about. You can even trade AJ Brown for a better 2-for-1.
Yeah. I don't mind this team. I think that there's definitely better paths for it. You should be moving off of one of these tight ends at least here. Maybe try to sell a little bit high on Sam Laporta right now, considering the usage should be coming back if you could. But yeah, try to build up receivers here. Maybe running backs are fine for current usage. I'd keep Achane and Jacobs. Just wouldn't want to rely too heavily on Pollard if I don't have to. Don't want to get you too stuck there. But yeah, that's really about it for today.
Yeah.
Are we doing UFC today?
No, I don't have it ready yet.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, that's it about it. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, peace, y'all.